Welcome to Martin Morocco Classic Car Restoration, where we're going to show you the real world of classic vehicle renovation.
So I'm back on with the Jensen. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off. So we'd cut all that off. So now I'm going to move our way to the back. We've got the panel here. So what's left to do is get all of this insulation out of the boot, so when we do cut through, you know, we don't set anything on fire. So I'll scrape all this out, and then we can get the panel on, marked off and cut off.
Rear valance.
That's what I'm with.
Yeah, okay, so that's the outer valance, that's the inner valance down there. So somehow,
You should line it.
that will go in there. What a terrific fit. I think not. So, that's going to go on there. So,
Something like that.
something like that. So, we'll need to cut the holes for the jacking points.
Yeah.
And then go from there, I think. Oh, but to be quite honest, it's probably easier to do the other side quarter flip.
Yeah.
It's all got to come off.
I think logically that I should probably do the other.
I think so.
Yeah.
Chop it off. Right. Fuel side. So there's all the fuel pipes and there'll be some wiring down there, so you just need to be aware of that. What I'm going to do then, I'm just going to mark that off there, and we aren't going to cut to that, but I think we're at the stage where we do need to cut all this crap away here, because that's stopping us. So I think the best thing to do,
Give like a
get
a bit of room,
exactly that.
but just so you can have the edge.
Get rid of that
Right.
edge, because I think we've got to get rid of that edge to get this where we need it. But that's okay, because that'll determine where it fits there.
Yeah.
That'll determine where it fits there,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll determine height. So I think if we do that, that'll be fine. So I would say you could probably draw a line down there as well. As long as you cut off well below that line, here even, you know, well below there, I think that's the next thing to do with this one. And then we'll get this fitted, get that edge cleaned up, and get this panel on so we can do a proper line, because this is the worst. It's gobbed up in it. It's just full of crud, and we can't get a proper alignment.
Maybe even a few repairs. You never know.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing to do. Good. Let's do that next then.
So this panel, we've made a bit of progress. We've you'll see once I take this off, but we've cut basically, you imagine the panel here, we've left a bit of meat on it, but we've cut all the way along there, so this can sit up flush now. It didn't have the previous edge from the original panel. Yeah, so all the important bits are lined up round here. and this body line. So we're going to take the Sharpie and we're going to do another line, because now it's fitting on better. Obviously the original line we've done, because it's tucked up, it's not quite right, so we're just going to do another line, and we'll do that all the way along, cut along there, and that's the lip that we can tuck it under. So we've cut this down for the little lip we need, so the new panel can slide under the back all the way along. And here you can see the reason why we don't just put the disc cut all the way through, because I would have easily gone through them. I think they're fuel, or what would you say? Is that for the...
What are you doing, Cam? What are you doing?
I'm showing them me handiwork.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was just saying how if I'd just pushed it all the way through my cutting disc,
yeah,
I'd have definitely hit them.
That. Yeah. They're all the vent pipes for the fuel filler.
That's the one.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, because I would have gone through them easy.
Yes.
Same with this one. I'm sure this fella, he wanted to be cut off. I couldn't move him out the way. He kept on falling in, and
that looks like a bit of home lighting cable to me. I think that's off a table lamp, isn't
table
it?
lamp. Yeah, I was thinking lamp. Yeah.
A speaker wire, I would guess. But this car's having a state-of-the-art sound system anyway, so all that's coming out. I don't know what yet, because I've decided, but it's left it to me or to us. But what we're going to do, I believe, the original 8-track player, the Learjet 8-track player, which is quite a rare thing.
Which is in pretty good condition, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
There's nothing.
So what I'm going to try and do is get that modified with all new internals. So it's like a brand new.
Yeah. So you've got your old nice.
Yeah.
Classic look.
Yeah, classic look. But it'll take his iPhone. It'll all of that. I've had some done before, and they're amazing. It's quite a lot of money to get them done, but they're amazing when they're done.
Probably easier doing that if you're going to put better speakers in as well.
Well, we're going to redo those anyway, because it'll be quite a trick thing when it's done. It's a good sound, you know.
So you've seen the back panel, we've sorted that. So we're going to move on to the rear valance now. Thing is, with our replacement panel that we've got, you don't have these cut out. So when you put it up against there, you can't quite get your marks of where it needs to be. So we've done a dotted line halfway along this lip, because if you look on the new panel, you can see that it goes all the way and there's a little lip. So on the car it would come up to about here probably, but we're going to cut along there and get all this off, and first we'll cut the holes for these, so then we can push it up and see where we need to cut and get marks that way. So, back valance, where I'd marked along this top bit, I've chopped it and cut around these, because these are actually, you know, held in by rear valance and underneath. So we've decided, for now, I've taped off the lines. We're going to cut on the bottom of this, and the plan is to get rid of all this rot that's on, well, the majority of the rot is on the bottom here. So I'm going to try and get a straightish line. You can only do your best. And yeah, we'll go from there after there. If we need to go a bit higher up, like here for example, we will do. So the inner valance for the Jensen, we have cut where I said I would, just below that tape line, as we are, and this is what came off. As you can see, it was a good idea, because all that rotten all the way along. Yep. Next on the list, these. Right, so these are what hold the back bumper on, and obviously the main problem is drilling holes the exact size in the exact right place on the new outer valance. Now that's going to be quite a task, because obviously these protrude out from the car, which means you can't get your panel up snug where it should be to mark your holes, and it's just not feasible. So we've had a look, and I think we're going to do a similar way to what it appears to be the Jensen had before. Right, so we've got a little bit of metal around the edge. What we're going to do is we're going to clean these corners up. We're going to take this top bit off, so we've just got this plate round, and then we can drill a hole in the new panel that's, let's say, a few mil bigger, so when we slide it over we can be slightly out. It's not as precise, but we've got something to weld to, and it'll look a lot cleaner and be a lot easier. Now going round, and I'm just getting all the thick bits of rust off and paint that was originally on. This side I need to go in and clean all the edges up, because anything rotten like that, take it back to where it's nice and smooth. Yep, I've done a fair bit. As you can see, got a few holes here. We'll probably cut them out, but I'll leave them in for now, just so we've got an edge. Yep, round here, took that all back because it was just, you know, rotted through. In here, we're doing a bit of a clean up. As you can see, just getting it back to metal so we can see what's what. And there, cleaned up around this jacking point a little bit. I think now I'm probably gonna see what lies under this and over there, and get on to working on this cleaning sedgwick where the sill was attached on. I'm continuing cleaning up all the rust on the Jensen, and if you remember, we took this rear wing off. We saw we had this big clump of filler. Now you can see how it's previously been bodged up. Evident that there's been a lot of rust here recently, not recently but in a past repair, and they've just covered it in loads of filler. So let's dig that out and see what's actually behind there. Here, see the two panels meet here, and clearly a bit of either condensation or something's built up and it's just rusted through where the panels meet, which is normal. And instead of repairing it, they've just blobbed a bit of filler in the hole and filled over this whole bit that's been rusting. So instead of putting a new bit of metal in, they've just thought, yeah, we'll put a big bit of filler in and just hope that, you know, it looks alright, which it will do until, you know, everything starts to rust back through, and then you're just left with a bit of a mess, really. Good old bodge job.
Well, that's it for this time. Join us again soon for more restoration tips and tricks. Do you think, Mish? Yeah. Shall we?